Welcome back, everybody. Today I'm going to be reacting to God Shattering Star from the Fire Emblem Three Houses original soundtrack. Now, I have heard this song before, but it's been 4 or closer to 5 years since I have. So it's not a first time reaction, but it's going to be a rediscovery reaction, and I cannot wait to get into it. If that sounds like a good time, you're in the right place. Welcome back, everyone. This is Right Man in the Wrong Place. My name is Luke Tatum. I am so glad that you're here. We're going to listen to something that I've heard before. We're going to listen to God Shattering Star. So, God Shattering Star plays in Fire Emblem Three Houses when you do the Golden Deer route, Claude's route. If you haven't played this game, there are 3, technically 4 different paths that you can take in the game. The beginning section of the game is the same, but you align yourself with one of the student houses in the university where you're a professor, and there's a time skip, and then your game is quite different in several ways. Who you have in your party, what opportunities you have, what missions you can do, and how the story plays out. And so I thought the black and gold Golden Deer house, super cool. So this is the first route that I played. I completed the game with Claude's route, Golden Deer. I completed the game with the Blue Lions, and I never did get around to doing the Black Eagles route where you have the choices there. So, I do have a lot of history with Fire Emblem. Played every game except for Engage that's been localized because Engage just looks weird and boring to me. But I could be wrong. There are also huge time commitments. This is a super, super, super huge amount of content in this game. So I have heard this song before. I only heard it in game. I have not listened to it outside of the game itself, and it has been years. So I do not remember even which one this is. How did I decide to do this reaction? I thought I should do a song from Fire Emblem Three Houses. And I typed in Fire Emblem Three Houses OST on YouTube, and I saw this and said, let's do it. So I had to do some research to figure out what route this was from. All that out of the way, let's get into it. So yeah, this is from Verdant Wind. The Claude's route is called Verdant Wind. I do have lyrics, which are in Japanese. I have an English translation. And yeah, this is from 2019. Eons ago. Let's get into it. It's a long one. I barely have time to get this one knocked out, but I wanted to get one more song in for y'all. Y'all, Fire Emblem. So good. Let's go. Mm. Gosh, this is great. Okay. There's a comment to make that everyone has made at some point if they've talked about music very much about how much more meaningful the notes that are there can be when there are notes that are not there, right? There's silence. The decoration of time with sound is given more weight when there's time without sound, right? And so have this amazingly impactful use of the instruments at the very beginning before the vocals come in. I gotta say, I need to get this whole soundtrack and listen to it again because what a phenomenal piece of music this is. Even the first 44 seconds. I really do not remember. I remember there being a cool vocal track, but I listened to it on the original Switch's speakers. I didn't This is around the time that I had this illness that I couldn't figure out. I was on short-term disability at one point, and I was just laying in bed, and so I was just playing it all the time. I'd be in and out of consciousness. I'd fall asleep in the middle of a match. My Switch would die. I have to start it over. It was not a good time. Okay, and man, I've been missing out. I should have been listening to this like more than one time over the last few years, and with good headphones, you know. So yeah, let's just keep going. I'm going to back it up a bit. The operatic vocal that has come in here is amazing, amazingly good quality. I guess he's a tenor. And the English translation, so we've got arise, you who do not fear death, raise your heads bravely and take up your weapons. Pay no heed to the corpses of your comrades. Warriors, gather to this banner. Send out the flare of revolt and liberation to take back our pride from the beast called God. Etc. It's quite a bit more than that, but pretty intense. God slaying is a thing in JRPGs. Happens all the time. Back it up a bit, and let's keep going. We got a lot to talk about, a lot to listen to. I remember this. This is kind of the main theme of the game, I guess. I remember that being very prevalent. Oh my gosh, there's just so much going on. This track has so much going on. Oh, you know what? I forgot to say at the beginning, the composers, because I had multiple windows open. So the composers for this soundtrack are Takeru Kanazaki, Hiroki Morishita, and Rei Kondo. And I'm not sure if this was a collaborative effort on this particular track, if there's one person who's more responsible than another. But whoever it is, and plus the vocalist, I don't know who the singer is. Whoever it is, it just amazing. You've got this very chaotic moment here, the last few seconds of this song before I pause. There's so many competing ideas. There's, running up of a scale. There's, this just clash between so many things. And, it's a turn-based game, right? Like, the music is so exciting where you can literally just not do anything and nothing happens. There is kind of that it amuses me sometimes how intense the Fire Emblem games can get. But, oh my gosh, it's just delicious. Okay, let's go back a bit. This is like a combat drum kind of thing you would find in a lot of songs. But then it just drops and you go back into the opera. Oh, beautiful. Oh my gosh. we don't really dwell on one particular thing for very long in here. There's just it's you know, I don't remember character themes or any of that kind of stuff, but there's a lot of musical elements that are brought up throughout the game. And from what I am hearing, because some of these are like nuggets of familiarity, and so a lot of this is like, oh, I kind of remember this little phrase in the song, and it just speaks to good theme writing, and it speaks to callbacks to the other things, tying it all together. If you want a good plot that ties a lot of things together and resolves at the end, like that's a JRPG, man, for real. And I say JRPG, this is a turn-based, tactics game, but it's basically a JRPG when it comes to the plot. Now, you know, this is just unbelievable. I think I did a reaction. Y'all haven't heard it yet. As I'm recording this, it has not gone live on the channel, but I did the battle theme for Atlas's upcoming game, Metaphor Refantasio, that probably just released by the time this video came out. Something around the day that this is going to release is when that game launches. I played the demo last night a little bit, and the battle theme has this crazy, intense, operatic style vocal. And that's probably subconsciously how we ended up here. That's probably how it got into my head I should listen to Fire Emblem Three Houses. It's probably that. I love that stuff. I mean, there's video game music, right? There's bleeps and bloops, and there's the chip tunes, and I love that stuff. I'll listen to it all my life. And then there's beautiful orchestral pieces, Super Mario Galaxy, and some of these games that have just amazing, Shadow of the Colossus. Like that music is as good as the soundtrack to like Gundam Wing. Gundam Wing is an amazing soundtrack, and there's like 300 songs for that show. But amazing, amazing quality, amazing production values. And then you've got, it's not just an orchestra, it's a full-on choir. And amazing things that composers for video games have pushed music to do. And sometimes it's like, yeah, hey, that's Holst. It's like, clearly this is inspired by X or Y composer. But sometimes we get these genre-bending, just amazing tracks. And that's kind of where we are here with Fire Emblem Three Houses. Like, this is some of the best music that I've ever heard, And I'm saying that we're 2 minutes in to an 8-minute song. I know I've heard it at some point in my life, but like, I'm rediscovering this. It's just amazing. It's just amazing. I listen to all that other stuff too. I listen to regular music. Okay, I'm rambling too much. I just fired up. It's so good. Makes me want to go fight a dragon. Weird percussive thing there. Got this almost kind of like plodding sound there. I don't know what instrument to say that is. But it's got this kind of like, not march, but sort of like walking motion to it here, which is very interesting. It's just like this composition pulls your focus into so many places, and it's awesome. I'm going to probably say awesome a lot today. It's very on the beat, It's like the center of a storm. key change, I guess. Oh my gosh. Here we are calling back to some other music again. A little bit of techno-ish kind of elements in here now. Like electric drums. Piano, keyboard. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna have to back that up again. I love this sort of using the sustained vocal from the single, opera singer here, the single voice to kind of bridge these different sort of disparate sections. Um, it gives you something to latch onto rather than it just being like a sudden change. So intense. There's a lot of like shifting into this more technological sort of state and then shifting back into more traditional instrumentation, like for an orchestra or something. I do remember not having played the game in like 5 years now, or at least four, after I finished doing Dimitri's route and stuff. I do remember that at the end, there's kind of like this technological element, like there's like this futuristic sort of, or kind of neon colored, like techno society kind of thing going on there. I don't really remember what the heck that was about. All the Fire Emblem plots sort of run together after a certain point because there's just so many characters. But I remember that level had and this is like maybe the level before when this plays or something. I remember that stage had a very techno type theme to it. And this is sort of blending the two. It's going into that more natural sounding orchestral piece type stuff, but then it also kind of pulls in these, electric drums and more of an electric keyboard sound before it goes back to a normal piano sound. There's all these like arpeggiation and all this crazy stuff going on, and it's a lot to keep up with. So yeah, let's keep going. I'm gonna back that up. I just love that use more than one time now of the vocalist to bridge these crazy sections because we're basically covering the whole musical range of the whole game. It's awesome. It's a song loop. It makes me so happy listening to this. It's so intense. Even though this is a little more really feel the emotion in his voice. Like that pulsing, that swelling and receding in the sort of lower strings. It does kind of give you at times like the imagery here. I like to look at the imagery that's coupled with these songs, even if it's not from the game itself, like if it's key art, that's used in the manual or whatever. I do like this piece that I'm looking at because, this particular section and a couple of other moments in the song, it does sort of evoke this combat between multiple flying creatures, a battle of dragons in the air. There's a lot of airiness to the sound. There's a lot of, you know, punches thrown throughout. It's very cool. Very cool. Kind of staying in one place a little bit here for a moment. Even though it's all over the place, it's one kind of idea for a moment. Love that low key sound, low keyboard sound. Very intense, very driving. There's a lot of motion. It makes me want to go forward and continue the song. Ooh. Yes. Oh, so intense. Of course, it's gonna fade out because it's a video game song. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, that was great. Amazing. Amazing. I feel like, as I was listening, I feel like maybe I did some other Fire Emblem song a long time ago on this channel, and I might have just forgotten about it. So I'm gonna check that real quick. Nope, nope, I haven't. So that's great. I'm glad I didn't accidentally lie at the beginning and say I haven't listened to any of the soundtrack. I, man, man. I need to look up who else, or excuse me, what else those composers worked on. Like, are they just Fire Emblem composers? Do we have any more opera pieces? Like, I don't remember. I do remember finishing Dimitri's story, and then I remember getting around to the part where the quest diverges or the options diverge for Edelgard, and then not doing that just because there's so much time. Even if you turn off all the animations and stuff, it takes so much time to go through those stories, and I want to do them. I'm one of those guys that on what was it, Fire Emblem Uprising, the one that looked very Japanese, like the outfits and everything were very Oriental, very Japanese styled for one of the factions, and it was multiple games. You had to buy 2 different cartridges to play both storylines, and then there was like a third neutral path or whatever. I think it was called Uprising. Um, and then I forget the other one. There's 2 versions. I did all of that. I did everything on those, and, I love Fire Emblem. I love a good tactics game. I am one of the people that became obsessed with Advance Wars. I love Advance Wars. You know, that kind of stuff, that's my jam. I really, really like that. I've always been a strategy gamer. I played StarCraft. I played Total Annihilation. I played Total Annihilation Kingdoms. I played, Supreme Commander, Age of Empires, Warcraft 1, Warcraft 2, all of it. I played a lot of those games. And so it's my jam, right? It's my jam. But this is something else. You know what I'm saying? It's really good. So if you're still here, if you're still listening to me ramble on, thank you. Thank you for watching this. I just really appreciate getting to do this nonsense for a camera and have somebody out there enjoy it. So thank you for being here. If you want to support the channel, do the YouTube things. If you want to go one step above that, buy me a coffee, link below my face, also link in the description. You can do one-off donations, make a song request, go in our spreadsheet. If you want to become a member of the channel for ongoing donation, that will, A, help the channel out a lot. It'll also let you see when your reactions are coming up. You'll get access to the spreadsheet that I am looking at right now. It'll tell you when songs are coming, what I'm going to be reacting to, etc., etc. So if that's something you're interested in, there's also a ton of other cool bonuses that I forget because there's a lot of them. Then check it out. Thank you all so much. Enjoy your day. And go play Metaphor ReFantasio, because I've only played the first like 2 hours of the demo, but man, that battle theme absolutely kills. It's amazing. And I am gonna have to stop talking. So y'all enjoy everything going on in your life. Till next time, the right man in the wrong place can make all the difference in the world.